All right, good morning, everybody. So back to the list. So now we're at the spinach dip point. So we're gonna go ahead and get that started. So we're doing the spinach dip. So we're gonna go ahead and get some oil in this preheated pan. Pump up about 2 tablespoons, I'd say. Get some onions in the pan, so let me grab those. Alrighty. Get those moving around. This is going to be a medium high. And I'm going to add just a little bit of more oil in here because I need to get garlic in here and get it sweated out so that we can get going. So a good heaping teaspoon of garlic. Leave that on. And next is going to be our cream cheese. So we got 2 of the Philadelphia 8-ounce cream cheese. And that's that at the up. I'm gonna go ahead and get that cream cheese out and get it in here as I struggle with my pack. There we go. Get that in there. And you already know the drill. Don't leave nothing behind. Because again, everything is too high to leave anything behind. Let's get that other one open. That kind of broke up and moving around. And I have the oven preheating to 350 degrees so that we can get the dip in there. Once we get it going and it's all mixed and got all the ingredients and components in it, we'll get it in the oven. Now, I know y'all see me struggling with the cream cheese. I tell you, it's like they didn't want me to get in either one. All right, now we're in business. Get the cream cheese moving around in here. Get it nice and melty. And then, yeah, it's melted really nice. So, get sour cream on deck. Garlic out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and put this right down on medium, guys. Get a knife to get this open because nothing seems to be cooperating. Everything wants to be hard to open today. And that's not what we're doing. We don't have a whole lot to prep because we did a lot yesterday. Go ahead and mix that up. And again, I turn this on low now. So now that I got that going, I'm going to get the spinach in there. So this is the spinach. I've already washed it. Got it cut, so we'll get a couple handfuls in there. Because you know how spinach does. Goes down to nothing, period. Work that around. And now we're going to go in with about a 1/4 cup of sour cream. So I got, there we go. Call that good. my sour cream. And again, we're just mixing because all we need this to do is melt. Once we get it all melted up, we'll add in our cheeses and our seafood. That's melting pretty good, guys. Let's see, I might have an addition of, let's see. Okay, I have the last of my little garlic and herb. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Why? Because why not? Why not just add it in there for another punch of flavor? Get that mixed up. Like it to be mixed in really, really well. So we'll get that stirring. And then we're going to season with some usual suspects. We'll put in some onion powder, half a teaspoon. And half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then we're going to add in some white pepper. And we'll stir that up. And again, looking really good, creamy. So next, we'll get in our cheeses. Oh, guys, I forgot to put in smoked paprika. So you want about a half a teaspoon of that. All right. Now we'll get it mixed up again, and let me grab the cheeses. So we have Parmesan. And we have some mozzarella. Okay, I do have mozzarella open. So we're gonna go in with a big handful of Parmesan. And then I believe I might have some mozzarella open, so we'll go back and see if I got some in this refrigerator open. Actually, it's Monterey Jack. Well, I better stick with the mozzarella. This is just a good dip to serve again with crackers. You know, whatever you choose that you want to dip in. Crackers, corn, tortilla chips, whatever you choose. Get that all nice and mixed in. And then we'll go ahead and get this seafood added in. see that's good and incorporated. So up here I have some baby shrimp that have been mixed, cooked in Cajun seasoning. So we'll get some of those in, get those mixed up. Then we're gonna go ahead and add in some crab meat. Go ahead and get a handful of that in first. And if it's not broke up, then you want to break it up. Ooh, excuse me. Wash those hands. All right, this mixed up. And we'll get it in a pan, and then we'll get it going in the oven to bake off. And so this will bake in the oven along with the buffalo chicken dip. It's going to bake for about 20 minutes. So let me grab the pan. So we have a foil pan, like so. We'll get this, pour it up, get it in the oven, and we'll return to show you the finished product. Hey, good morning, guys. Merry Christmas to you all. So we're here on Thanksgiving morning, putting our stuff together. So right now, I'm getting ready to work on dressing. So I'm getting my stock over in the cornbread mixture, and I just always like making a mess. Like to heat it up. Grab that up because that's not clean. Don't want messes early in the morning. Let me get this wiped up. I love to clean as I go. So anyway, I'm getting the dressing mixed up. I got my cornbread, the vegetable mixture that we cut up of onions, celery, and bell pepper. Got that all in here. So we're just mixing that around. Looks like I really needed a bigger bowl. I may end up just putting it in the pan. Let's see how this all plays out. I think I'm going to end up just dumping it in the pan that it's probably going to bake in. A little bit fryer. We'll need that for our meat. And let me get the pan. All right. Go ahead and add some sage in there. And then had to get our garlic powder, of course. And then we're going to go in with some onion powder. And then I'm going to pour it into the pan so I can better get it mixed up. This little bowl isn't working, and I really don't feel like getting out the other bowl. So let me kind of get that tossed around, and then we'll get it in the pan. That way we can have a better mix at it. I don't want you in there. Yeah, let's go ahead and go in the pan. That way we can get it mixed the way we really want it instead of having to be very ginger with it, because I'm afraid it'll spill out. I just should have got out the bigger bowl instead of trying to do small. Put that in there. All right, let's come in here with this. Now we got a little bit more room to work with. I already got the oven preheating to 375. Get that mixed around. Need to put a little bit more stock. Just get that heated up a bit more. Again, get it mixed around. Got the celery, the bell pepper, got sage in here. Poultry seasoning. And we need to add some salt and some pepper. Goes. Let's go ahead and get in here with a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon. And we'll go in with black pepper. And then I'm going to go in with a bit more sage. And well, again, mix that around. I don't put eggs in my dressing. I know some people do. I don't. I don't know. It's just never been a thing for me to put eggs in it. Comes out fine without the eggs for me. I'm just using my chicken stock and my grab a spatula, chicken stock, and my sauteed vegetables. Let's go in with some more stock. Make sure that bread and the vegetables, and I used chicken livers. Sometimes I'll put sausage in the dressing, but this time I use chicken livers. It should be maybe the last bit of stock that we'll need. Once we get this in the oven, then we're going to go ahead and sear off this beef roast here, and then we're going to get it in the Instapot. And yeah, I know I can use the sear function on there, but I use it sometimes for vegetables. Don't too much use it for meat, because if the bottom isn't deglazed properly or right, then what happens is you get that burn function, and we don't have time for that. I just want to get the stuff on and cooked and going. So yeah, we don't have time for the burn function and all that, so we'll get it done in the pan and then get it over in here. And this is actually a new beef recipe we're testing, so it'll be a balsamic roast beef, balsamic and cranberry roast beef, and should be quite tasty. I've already seasoned it, basically like dry brine with salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder, of course. I mean, that's just a no-brainer here. All right, let's go in with this last little bit. Should be taking us home. And then whatever chicken stock is left over, then what I'll do is put it in a container, and it will be set up to go in the freezer. And that's the oven letting us know it's ready, so we're almost ready. Yeah, this is looking fabulous. And I usually go ahead and give it a little taste to see, so I can adjust the seasoning if we need to add more. Yeah. Actually needs a little bit more garlic powder. And believe it or not, a little bit more salt. So we'll add in that. And I pray you guys have a good Thanksgiving. And reflect on the birth of Jesus as you're celebrating throughout the day, because remember, he is the reason for the season. I'm just going to add just a little bit more. Alright, that's it. We're going to go ahead and get some foil over this pan and get it popped in the oven. Let me grab my foil. And always remember, keep the shiny part away from the food so that it doesn't leach any chemicals into your food. Alright, going in the oven at 375 for about 30 minutes. Got the stock turned off. So next thing we want to get going is going to be get our pot back over here. And let's see, let's get our oil. And we're going to go ahead and get the roast seared on both sides, and then we'll get it over in the Instapot and get it going. We have lamb in the crock pot. And it was funny, I got up to actually get it set for about 12 o'clock this morning, and guys, I put it all in there, and guess what I didn't do? I didn't plug it in. I was like, that lamb doesn't have any kind of scent, smelling. You know how you put something in the crock pot and it's cooking overnight, and you hear it. I mean, you smell it. And I kept saying, well, I don't really smell anything. It's not smelling. Well, it wasn't smelling because I didn't plug it in. Because it has to cook on 500. So we'll see how that goes. But again, we're going to go ahead and get the bowls washed, because I always clean as I go. I am the dishwasher. Get my tongs and get this roast over in the pot. That going, I can hear it sizzle, so that's good. Sizzling up good, so I'm going to grab my iPad so I can see what my ingredients is, because I know one is balsamic vinegar, because again, this is a new recipe. sizzling pretty good, so we're gonna get a good sear on that. So we're gonna go ahead and get this turned over. So again, we're going to use balsamic vinegar. We're going to need some thyme, and we're also going to need maple syrup. So hold on, let me grab maple syrup. All right. So now that we got that seared, we're going to go in, put it into the pot with that. That over there. And then we're going to add balsamic vinegar right in on top of the roast. We're going to go ahead and do about a half a cup. And we're going to go in with our maple syrup, 2 tablespoons. We need our fresh garlic. So now we keep that in the fridge. Get that in here. Getting all of that out. Just a little bit left, so we just went ahead and used all of that. And where's that? Let me grab that. Let's see. Was having technical difficulties trying to get the volume up here. With this, they serve with polenta, but we have potatoes.
This cranberry balsamic chuck roast is the easiest holiday meal and comes together with just a few ingredients. First, season the chuck roast with salt and pepper and sear both sides in your multi-cooker until brown. Add in balsamic vinegar, maple syrup, soy sauce, garlic, rosemary, thyme, and fresh cranberries. Cook on.
We forgot the soy sauce, guys. I knew there was something else missing. So we're going to use tamari. Use that when I don't use soy sauce. So we're going to use tamari. Get that in here. Okay, got the tamari in here. going to go ahead and get our thyme. So, sorry guys for reaching in on you. Get a good teaspoon. Well, let's do 2 since it's kind of big. All right, soy sauce and the cranberries. How could I forget the cranberries? Of cranberries. And I went in with 1/4 cup of the frozen cranberries. So again, it was balsamic vinegar, maple syrup, a tablespoon, and the tamari sauce, about 1/4 cup of the balsamic vinegar. And we're going to seal these cranberries back and put them up. And then we'll go ahead and put the top on, and we'll get that slow cooker set. And correction, Instapot. So we're going to make sure this is to seal. We're going to put our lid on, and we're going to pressure cook this for 50 minutes. So we're going to set that and get it going. All right, all set, ready to go. And we'll get on to our next recipe in just a few minutes. Okay guys, we're gonna go ahead and get these hash browns done and in the oven. These are the ones that we pre-shredded, put in a Ziploc, kept in water. So far I put 1 teaspoon salt in there. We're gonna go ahead and get in with, of course, garlic powder. So we're gonna go in with a teaspoon of that. Then we're going in with onion powder. Needless to say, you all should already know. Actually, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Then we're going to get some cracked black pepper into the situation, about 6 turns. Okay. And then next, we're going in with cream of chicken soup. So let me get a spatula because you know I got to get everything out of there. So we're going to go in with 2 cans of that. Get that all out. And again, some call it cheesy potatoes, some call them funeral potatoes. But when I got to thinking about it, I was like, I actually used to make these years ago. And again, I think they were just, I was calling them cheesy potatoes at the time. And some kind of way, I guess the name transformed into funeral potatoes. I don't know. But that's what I'm seeing some of the recipes call. And then some of the recipes will use mashed potatoes. Sorry, couldn't get it out. Some will use mashed potatoes. But anyway, we got our 2 cans of that in there. Get rid of those. And then we have sour cream going in. Heaping tablespoon of the, well, heaping 2 tablespoons of sour cream. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is just get in here with my hands and mix, and then we'll come back and we'll add in the cheese and get it in, and then we'll get it in the oven. We want to just get that all mixed in really well. Incorporate the sour cream, the cream of chicken. Get it in, mixed up. And salt, I think will be good because again, you got that cream of chicken soup in there. So that's bound to have salt in it. Don't usually try to use a whole lot of processed stuff just for that reason, but you know it's probably going to have salt in there for sure. So let me get these off so I can put on another glove. I'll get some cheese in here. I just got some shredded sharp cheese. Decided to let the grocery store help me out on that. So we're shaking in probably 2 cups of cheese. I'll go in and wash my spoon and see if I can get in with the spatula now that I've got it mixed the way I want to. See if I can go back in with the spatula and just get that cheese incorporated in. And just mix it around good. And then naturally, once we get this mixed in good, it'll pop in the oven for about 35 minutes at 375 where we got the dressing at, so we don't have to worry about changing. Yeah, that's not mixing the way I want. Let me put on another glove because I like to make sure it's all mixed up really well. So let's get this one glove on. Go ahead and turn on my butter for my roux for mac and cheese. All right. Just get in there and mix it up. And again, you just want to make sure everything is incorporated, nothing left dry, everything's in and mixed up really well. And then, of course, for your preference, you can go back in. Some of the recipes say graham cracker. Excuse me, what am I saying? Graham crackers. You can go back in with crackers or potato chips. I'm not that topping person. I will put maybe a little bit of cheese back on those before I get them in. But let me show you. So that's all nicely mixed in. We'll cover it with foil. Always make sure, again, you have the shiny side of that foil up away from your food because you don't want that foil reaching off into your food. So we're going to go ahead and get that in the oven, 375, 35 minutes, okay? So we're going to get our flour down so we can get started on our roux. As you guys see, as I mess up, I make sure that I'm cleaning as I go. That's just me. I've always been that way. Don't like to have to start cooking in a kitchen that I gotta clean up. And we don't have a dishwasher here, which is fine because even when we had dishwashers, they were never used. We always said, okay, when the holidays come around, use the dishwasher because I cook so much. But that never happened, so that's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and get flour open. And guys, how about I done left one of my spoons up in here? So getting in at about 2.5 tablespoons of that flour. And we'll get out our whisk and our milk. Which I should have had my milk out. Must be in the other fridge. And let me get my whisk. And here with the whisk and begin to mix up. You want to always, when you're making a roux, kind of cook out that flour. taste, so you always want to kind of cook that on out. So let's put the cheese back in the fridge. I'm gonna pull out some smoked Gouda to go in the mac and cheese, so I need to get that grated. And I'm gonna move these over so I can have a bit more room. Get smoked Gouda open. Grater out. Alright. Go ahead on. Turn that down a little bit. Yeah, just kind of incorporate it. Get those little flower pockets worked in. So we'll go ahead and keep working with this, and then we'll get some cheese shredded. Okay guys, back. Got the macaroni and cheese ready to get the sauce in it and get it in the oven. I'll get these macaroni. And that one. Let's see. And then we'll get another pan. Put a little bit of butter in the bottom of the pan. Okay. Get the rest of these over in this pan. So before we go any further, I'll go ahead and get some seasoning in my sauce. So I like to put, of course, garlic powder in my sauce. And then I'll do a little bit of salt in there, because I just do a little because we do it in the pasta order, because you want to salt like it's the ocean. And then I also put a bit of ground mustard in there. So these are just ground mustard seeds that I had, and I ground them up in my Ninja. So we put those in there, get it stirred up. Whisk in to the cheese. So in your cheese sauce, in that roux I made, I added Velveeta cheese, and I used the medium-sized block. I added in shredded Gouda cheese. I also added in Parmesan cheese, all about half a cup of Parmesan, a cup of Gouda, and then I did a cup of sour cream in here. So what I normally do now is I'll go ahead and get this sauce pouring over this. I like to mix it up, pour some, mix up some, see where I'm at. So get that mixed in. Get it all cheesed up. More in here. I'll go over and get some sauce in this one. And that was that Instapot, letting us know that, hey, the roast is done. So we'll let that naturally release. And so the only thing now that is left to put together is going to be the Brussels sprouts, which is going to be a very simple meal also. Stuff in there. And what I want to add is black pepper. So I get a couple cracks of black pepper in each pan. And then, what else? More cheese. So we'll go in and we'll get from the store cheese, and we'll also gonna mix that in, and then we'll put a cover on it and let it go and pull the other items out. Of course, you know, I'm gonna get in with a spatula and get the last of this little cheese sauce because, hey, again, got nothing to waste at all. So get in and get that cheese sauce. Just get a little bit of water in that pan. Go ahead and mix this one up. This one, and then I'll get my fork and get a taste. Make sure don't need to add anything before it goes in the oven. All right, let me get a fork and see where we're at. We're there. Nothing else needed. Pop it up. This over here. pop these in the oven. All right, and we'll get ready for the Brussels sprouts. Okay guys, we're getting ready to do Brussels sprouts, so we're going ahead and getting some bacon down, just one strip, fold it. Get that going in our pan. Moving around, and once we get that going, then we'll add in our onions. We got those diced onions that we did on the 23rd, all set and ready to go. Get that working, and let me go ahead and get out the dressing. And we just have that mac and cheese cooking. The dressing freed up a spot for us to have for our, look at that, looks beautiful. Let me see if I can lift it up so you can see. Just looks good. That's covered. Bacon rendered off so I can get those onions in there. And so this is it. This is our last item. And then everything will be done. And then all I have to do is clean up, get ready, and begin the day. Of course, have a cup of coffee. Once I get these Brussels sprouts in, and then when it's time, we'll load up and go over to my sister's house and visit, have fun with the nieces, the nephews. So yeah, that'll be Christmas Day, and then I'll come home to partake of quiet time, which I love, and of course, maybe a Christmas movie or two, although I did several last night. I usually don't do as many as I did, but I did several last night. So, get that. I'm kind of rinse off my hands because I was itching my forehead. One of them just touching your face and everything else and carrying on. Let me go ahead and get the onions in. Now it's getting where I want it to get. Perfect. Brussels sprouts ready. Down now. And again, we're just sauteing the bacon and the onion around. Now we're going to go ahead and get those Brussels sprouts in. These are the Brussels sprouts we're going to have them prepped. seasoning pieces are incorporated. The onion shallot blend is in. Now we'll go ahead and start getting those seasonings. Just going to start off with salt, teaspoon. And then we'll get in our garlic. Same thing, 2 teaspoons. Then we're going to go in with 21 seasoning salute, Trader Joe's. I know my fave. And I'll do the last bit of my onion salt. Okay. Mix this up. Then I'm going to go in with some of that broth. We need to go in with just a tad bit more. Okay, got that all good seasoned up. So now we'll put the lid on it. We're gonna let it go for about 10 minutes on the burner. Then we're gonna transfer it to the oven and add in Parmesan cheese and some heavy cream and let it go for about 15 minutes in the oven. And then it'll be ready and dinner will be complete. All right, guys, so the Brussels sprouts are where we want them. So they're at this point. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add in heavy cream. And what did I do with the heavy cream? Oh, here we go. About 1/4 of a cup. And then we're gonna go ahead and get our Parmesan cheese in. And that's about 1/4 of a cup also. Get that mixed around. All right. And we're gonna get it right off into the pan. Put that all in the pan. All that goodness, and matter of fact, I think I'll go in with just a little bit more cheese. And let me just taste the seasoning. Don't know, I forgot to do that. Taste and see where we're at with that seasoning also. Okay, so glad I tasted it. Needs a little bit more salt and a little bit more pepper. So always make sure that you're good about tasting seasonings on your food, making sure that it's where you want it to be.